Hi everyone and welcome to another of the Liberate Learning Professional Series. My name is David Greenup, National Director of Learning Operations, and today I'm joined by Peter Cover from Retail Food Group. Thanks for joining us, Peter.
Thank you, David. Good to be here.
Fantastic. So we're here to talk all things e-learning today about some of the fantastic trends that are coming up and some of the challenges that are facing the industry. So best to talk to a local expert. So Peter, can you tell us some of the things that are facing your business in terms of challenges and trends?
Sure. So one of the big focuses for us in e-learning is targeting small screen devices, so mobile and tablet, and essentially making sure that our e-learning is fully responsive. And also that we have a theming system in place which allows us to change the branding of e-learning or multiple e-learning modules efficiently.
With the multiple brands that you have, is there software out there that you're looking for at the moment, or some of the hints and tips you can share with our audience that help solve that problem?
Sure. So I think working with multiple brands as we do, and sort of very complex brands, it's very important for us to have an authoring tool which is fully responsive out of the box. So a lot of the industry standard tools nowadays claim to be fully responsive, but they're not actually, whether that's using a breakpoint system or sort of using a scaling system which tries to do a best fit. It's not the ideal solution if you want the best experience across all devices. Fully responsive solution is the best option.
Why is the theming and branding component when it comes to e-learning so important for you?
Yeah, sure. So essentially, whenever branding changes happen, the challenge is traditionally you need to make changes on a screen-by-screen basis. Go through all the different UI elements and make sure everything is matching sort of the brand guidelines. With the theming system, it's a much more top-down approach, so you're essentially setting up the theme at a very global sort of level, and then those changes cascade down to whatever courses that particular theme is applied to. So essentially you can change the overall look and feel of a course just by changing the theme, which is a very powerful and much more efficient way of developing training.
How do you see mobile responsiveness playing out today and into the future for your business?
Sure. With our user base, it is very important to be targeting mobile devices, just because of firstly the age groups of our users, but then also because of the time available to them. So we really try to make sure that we're giving them as much flexibility so they can learn at their own pace whenever it's convenient for them. And having training that works on a mobile device is key for that. Essentially because most of our users will have a mobile device with them, so they're able to jump on and do sort of some of the micro-learning modules whenever they need to, as opposed to needing to sort of dedicate some time, sit down in front of their computer and go through a 30-minute module or whatever it may be, which at the end, how much of it do they actually retain anyway?
How do you compare your design approach for mobile responsiveness from desktop to mobile?
Sure. Well, with a tool like App eLearn, essentially there isn't any difference. Because it is fully responsive, you don't actually need to invest the time in designing a desktop version, designing a tablet version and a mobile version, because it's fully responsive, it will work across all devices. It's cross-browser compatible as well. So you save a lot of time with the initial design, because the way it will look on a desktop, it will also work for a mobile or a tablet.
Fantastic. If there are any top tips you'd like to share with our audience about e-learning trends, challenges you face, what might they be?
Sure. I think one of the biggest challenges for us was addressing maintenance, especially when you have a large training library on its own, but in our case, the extra challenge is having it across multiple brands. So it's important to have a tool which allows you to maintain training and have easy ways to update it and make sort of small fixes as you go along, because ultimately you want to spend most of your time investing in new and sort of more engaging material, as opposed to spending the bulk of your time trying to fix things that you've already developed. So yeah, for anyone sort of looking for a tool, I think definitely look at if you create e-learning material in this particular tool, how will you be able to maintain it now that once you've created the training, 6 months down the track, if you need to change it, or if you need to change a library of 20 modules, how easy is that? Do you need to go into every single one, or is there a more globalized approach that you could do where you make sort of one change and it cascades across all of them?
Thanks again for watching another of the Liberate Learning Professional series. We'll be bringing you more episodes, key tips, and great stories coming to you again soon.